A spot. Who wants to hear people say thank you to people? No one cares. It's a TV show. Once you've won one award, which is brilliant, after that, no one gives a damn who you're going to thank at Warner's or Sony or your mum or your accountant or your cat.
So offer Liam out for a fight instead.
Well,
for charity.
Do what you want. You do what you like. It's all down to people. It's all down to the individual. But it's also a lot of backslapping that's not needed. It's I see the award shows itself as an entertainment show. And, I think people should be entertained one way or another. I get it right sometimes. I get it wrong a lot of the time too. But I want to say something different or be different or cause controversy or just, have something interesting happen, and it seldom doesn't.
What's your measure of getting it wrong? When you wake up in the morning and you think, oh, I got that wrong, what does that mean?
What does that mean? I don't really know.
Do you have many regrets about the way that you've lived your career?
Well, I think people are always, in my position, quite often asked, do they have any regrets? And the stock answer is no, because they've made me the person that I am today. And I put it to them, sir, that they don't understand the question. There's moments of this day when I'll regret something that I've said in this interview. I regret, I FaceTimed my wife this morning and I hadn't woke up properly and she was just going to sleep and, we didn't quite manage to have the beautiful connection that I'd want. I regret that. But there's also deep regrets that I've got about certain singles that I shouldn't have released, certain albums that maybe should have come out at a certain time, the way that I spoke to a certain person, or because when I was nervous I said something that I didn't mean and that person now thinks I'm an idiot, and etc. etc. They're not places that I bathe in daily, but of course I'm sure that it's human to have regrets. Don't you?
No, absolutely, you have to have regrets, but also you would have expect somebody in your position to have a thicker skin or armour.
Do you really, though? Do you really think somebody...
to have lasted for as long as you have at that level, you have to be different to many people in the way that you perform on stage and the talent that you have, but also the way that you have to fend off the barbs.
We're all egoic narcissists. We're all children, whether it's me or whether it's Elton John. Look at Elton John didn't win the award and Madonna wins the award and he has a hissy fit. I'm that person too. There is no difference with these up-and-coming people, I'm sure One Direction are all thin-skinned too. I think it might be a human condition. I don't know if it's necessarily just a celebrity condition. I know that, for example, we're sort of talking to Adele about this very subject, about criticism and how it hurts. He's talking to Simon, her husband, and he just laughed it off. And he was just like, yeah, I read stuff about me, but it made me laugh. And I said, did it genuinely make you laugh? And he was like, yeah, it genuinely made me laugh. So I think that, maybe a celebrity or a creative or a singer is a certain type of narcissistic, egoic, thin-skinned, lovely, beautiful mess. We are what the tabloids say about us. We are what you might read on internet forums about, what people think we might be, or what people think I might be.
But that's what makes you as well.
Well, that's what makes me as well. But I'm also running alongside that. I'm also a decent guy too.
There's a reference also in the Brits 2013 song to midlife crisis. You're now in your 40th year. You've got nearly a year to go. But how significant is that birthday?
Well, yeah, the midlife crisis or the midlife crisis theory has been creeping up on me for quite some time, I think part of my narcissistic armoury, if you like, is being attractive to the opposite gender or the same gender. And as the years increase, your opportunity for that magnetism to work decreases too. So you're losing a bit of your armoury in some way, or it feels like you might be losing some of your armoury because you're getting older. And
does that worry you, though, as a married man now?
Yes,
your attraction to your fans or to other people?
Well, once again, I would say it's a human condition. There isn't a hairdressers anywhere in the UK that hasn't got a 50 to 60 to 70-year-old woman that's trying to make themselves look their best. I'm that 50 to 60, 70-year-old woman too. Once again, it's not a place I bathe in, but yeah, I do go there. I'm 40. What does that mean? There's no pop stars after 40. Is Madonna? Madonna's, she is still a pop star, or is she something else?
Or do you still regard yourself as a pop star? And this is an interesting...
I want to be a pop star,
You do? Are you trying to hang on to that image of who you were? And the reason I asked that is that several references on the album, particularly on the first two songs, to you as a young boy, when I was a young boy, and it's the perspective of a kid looking forward to the world that's about to unfold and the possibilities and the stardom, which no doubt you dreamt about when you were a kid. So are you increasingly looking back to the younger Rob?
Well, in the advent of a significant birthday coming up on the planet, I suppose it's inevitable that your mind would wander there, and I suppose that it would maybe lay heavy on your consciousness. And with the arrival of Teddy too...
This is your daughter?
Yeah, Teddy, my daughter, yeah. There's a different perspective on the world, and it is sort of like like Bowie said in this beautiful song that was released, where are we now? But who are we now, and who am I now? Still trying to work it out. I'm a much happier, much relaxed. I have a fantastic life, fantastic wife. I'm that guy, but I'm, trying to figure out where I exist, or where's my position in the natural order, and also in the food chain of pop stardom.
So being a father has now focused those ideas of personal responsibility as well, I guess, about who you have to be to different people.
Yeah, and literally the rub-off effect of that is I don't smoke 3 packs of cigarettes a day anymore. I take care of myself. I go to bed earlier. There's been physical things that have actually happened since Teddy's arrived. But then there's the mental stuff of, how old do you feel in your head? If
if I listen to music, 16.
No, But without music, you just said, how old do you feel?
Oh, my age at the moment.
Oh, really? Why is that?
I'm just being honest. I feel my age. I'm aware of it.
Oh, right, okay.
Are you not?
I have lost 24 pounds in the last 5 weeks. So I feel very different than I did 5 weeks ago.
Lighter in body, lighter in spirit.
Lighter in body, lighter in spirit, lighter in soul. There's a natural pep to my step. There wasn't. And, today I feel 31. I'm 39. It's not much of a difference, really. But just after Christmas, I would probably feel my age and older.
How old did you feel on stage at the Brits, surrounded by a lot of younger performers?
Well, I don't know. It was odd.
Can you tap back into younger Robbie when you're on stage? Does something click? Do you feel like the same performer?
I don't know. It's kind of Russian roulette for me in performing, to be honest. Whether I'm going to get up there and be charismatic and full of myself and, project the best me I could do, or whether I get up there and I get spooked. I'm like some sort of racehorse that... sometimes doesn't want to go into the gate to go, and then sometimes is really up for the race.
And what determines that? Is there any one thing that... Not the bigger the crowd, the better? It never works like that?
Well, it's like, you can wake up one day feeling great. You can do exactly the same thing that you did the day before. The next day you don't feel too sharp. What happened? Who knows? It's that sort of thing that happens to me when I perform, and I do TV shows and I do award shows. It's also what makes it really exciting, because I don't know who I'm going to get. I don't know who's going to get up there with me. When it's simpatico and all the forces are in my favour, it's a wonderful feeling. And then when it isn't, it's seat of your pants stuff that sometimes you feel lucky to escape and sometimes you feel devastated.
While you're performing, actually mid-song, you have those moments when you think, I don't want to be here.
Yeah, I think the Brits was one of those moments.
Was it?
Yeah.
You're lining up huge dates this summer. 4 nights at Wembley Stadium. That's a hell of a lot of people to be playing to in a very short amount of time. Do you have to work yourself up to a state of match fitness for that, I guess? Because that's physically demanding.
Yeah, it's physically demanding. And I will be fit to do it, but it's also mentally demanding. There's been tours where I've talked myself out of the tour that's in summer at Christmas.
Right.
You know, and I've
And
noticed...
this is the first tour for about 5 or 6 years,
Yeah,
in fact,
since
isn't it?
2006. And I've noticed that to be a pattern. So I catch the thoughts now. I don't let them be a permanent fixture in my brain as truth.
So if you picture yourself on stage at the Etihad or Wembley or the Dublin Arena or all these big gigs that you're doing, you don't allow yourself to picture it then?
I allow myself to picture it, but I allow myself to picture it going really well.
Right.
It's the strangest thing, though, you know. Whenever I start rehearsals for absolutely anything, it's like I've never done it before.
And that pressure and that sense of self-doubt must have been heightened when you rejoined Take That then, in particular, because you're stepping back into a format that you hadn't been, ended very badly. Was that difficult to step back in line with those boys?
Absolutely not. The moment that we had our big meeting in Los Angeles at my house, and I got to talk to Gary, and Gary got to talk to me, and we sorted it. The moment everything was okay between me and him, it just opened the gates wide for all possibilities and for anything to happen. And from that moment on, I had a blast with the boys, you know. And
will you again?
Yeah.
Are there plans?
Yeah, I can't wait to do that again.
Well, Gary Barlow's written a couple of songs on the latest album with you, so you're continuing that writing partnership, are you?
Yeah.
Is there a long-term plan, or is it just see what happens?
Well, there's so many opportunities and there's so many pathways that could come off this. I can branch off into musicals, me and Gaz, me and Mark, me and Howard, whoever. I just see a huge motorway in front of me, and I can go anywhere with this thing.
And you don't see a finishing line. You don't see yourself heading to a particular point. And you've mentioned Dylan in this conversation. You've mentioned David Bowie, people who have been in the game for a long time, who are taken very seriously. You're in it for the long run now, are you?
Yeah, I naively thought that I'd retired. I naively thought, right, okay, I'm retiring now, so... what am I going to do? I'm going to go look for UFOs or something, or waiting for something to happen. But I now know that just won't happen. Once again, I am fortunate and lucky enough to be able to be creative and produce something that makes my wife's and my daughter and my management and the people that like my stuff will go round. You know, and...
you don't write just for yourself. You talked about everybody else there, but not yourself.
I don't know, because if it all went wrong...
If people stopped buying the records and the bottom dropped out of the Robbie Williams market, you would stop making records or writing songs?
I wouldn't write them for myself, I don't think, no. I think the stock answer for artists to say is, yeah, it's my burning passion and I carry on doing this for myself. I think they're lying to themselves. Or maybe they're just better people than me with more integrity. But if they stopped buying my records, I'd create something else and hope that they would get that. And if they didn't, I'd create something else and hope that they would do that.
Robbie, thanks very much indeed.
It's been really cool. I'm very thankful for your questions.
And you can find details of Robbie Williams' album and tour dates via the Front Row website, where you can also download this and other editions of the programme. Tomorrow, 3 actors on playing 3 Prime Ministers in Peter Morgan's new play, The Audience. Join Mark Lawson at 7:15.
That was Front Row, presented by John Wilson and produced by Claire Bartlett. Now we'll look ahead to